Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 30th of July to the 5th of August 2018. We are coming out of the full moon eclipse in Aquarius. So this weekend is just one to relax, rest, and explore anything that was brought up by those energies, because eclipses are very unpredictable and Aquarius is very unpredictable and we can't anticipate what's going to happen, so it's best just to stay quiet. Eclipses can also happen a month before or a month afterwards, delivering their message. But we're heading towards the new moon eclipse in Leo in 2 weeks' time as well, so we're in the eclipse window still, and very much about just exploring anything that comes up, anything that's brought from the darkness to the light, to be explored with a conscious mind and resolved. So there may have been shock surprises, there may have been revelations, and as I said last week, I feel this more to do with technology, the internet and the sociable collective, because Aquarius is the ruler of those things. So where we're all going together, where we're all on the same vibration and the raising of consciousness. So quite a busy week last week, and we just get to relax this weekend and appreciate the present moment, which then takes us into this week, because it's a strange week. There's nothing changing signs, there's nothing going forwards or retrograde. So all week all the planets are staying in their respective signs, and these are the kind of weeks where we can do the filtering work. Because on a week where we have lots going on, we have to refocus daily and attend to lots of different details. But this week it's all very still, so we get to filter and sift through everything that's happened, everything we're feeling, all the insights, all the experiences we're having, and get to the deep meaning of them. So for me, one of the major aspects that we can concentrate on this week is Venus is in the middle degrees of Virgo. So Venus is our heart, it's what we value, it's who we love, how we love, what we love, it's our creativity and our joy and our creative productivity, what we're growing in Virgo. So we can filter through the heart everything that we're experiencing, we can get to that fine message, but we can also get rid of anything that's ready to go, because we don't have to carry everything forwards. It's about taking the seed of awareness forwards and leaving the baggage behind, because this is what changes the future, is if we don't have to drag everything forwards and expect it to happen again, project into the future our fears of what's happened in the past. But with that conscious mind going and getting the seed of awareness, really feeling on a fibrous level into everything that we've experienced, then we can step forwards feeling lighter and more expanded, and we're not going to attract to us the same situations because we've actually faced it, we've looked at it, we've explored it, and we've released it. So attending to detail really in Virgo, detail of the heart, the tiny subtle nuances of our feelings and the meaning behind them is what Venus in Virgo is giving us. So last week I was talking about expanding on the inside, because clearing out a lot of this drudgery, clearing out a lot of our old debt, really, our old debt that we've brought through from centuries, even from past lives, from our ancestors, that we carried a story. That all came up last week, to look at where we can release it, and are we carrying things that are even not our own, and can we bring those stories to an end, which then leaves us feeling expanded and light and spacious on the inside. So attending to that fine detail this week, we should just generally be able to look at what we feel, what we think, what it represents, and we're even going to get some glimpses of the subtler nuances that are hiding deep within those questions, so that we can really get down to the root of the issue. So bringing things up for cleansing on a filtration system is pretty much the theme of the week. A couple of other themes are running in the background as well, and one of those is the theme of summer 2018, which is, if we look back to where we thought we were pressing ahead, say May or June, the plans that we had where we were trying to push forwards and know where we were going, that's all been halted, and we've gone inwards to have a look at what the real core of what we want is, rather than the plan that we thought we had, which might be an old plan or too limited for us. So if we look back to early summer, we can do a retrospective by midweek as to where would we have got if we'd have just worked on those plans, and how have we changed our perspective, getting back to the core motivation, the true essence of ourselves, and radiating that, which inevitably by September, October is going to start to bring back the results. And those results will take us to a very different place than if we just pressed ahead in a linear fashion. So reconnecting by Wednesday maybe on the core essence of who we are, what we love, what we're grateful for, and what we have to give, what our contribution is here, on a soul level, rather than the physical level just pushing forwards. So that trajectory is changing now as we've gone inwards to the centre of everything. And by autumn we'll have a clear way forwards. We'll be manifesting from a much deeper place and therefore creating different experiences and results. So having to stop, having to go inwards has caused a sense of impatience in many people, because we're told to lead with the control brain, and the confusion and the impatience has been tangible, not knowing where we're going, not even knowing our true selves and what we want, but being forced to stop long enough to focus on that has taught us lessons on being present, what we have right now, what we're grateful for, our talents, what our real vibration is actually a delicious place to be, but we do need to turn off the control planning brain long enough to appreciate that. And this lesson won't just go away at the end of the summer. This is actually a lesson to show us that this is actually where we can come from, this is our place of being, and that we no longer need to rely on the mental controlling part of ourselves to run the show. Another issue that's come up has been about security. And this can only ever come from the inside. This is a spiritual flow that we're in. And that perception that creating financial or physical security on the outside will bring us our sense of security, that can always change. Everything on the physical plane can always change. Whereas our spiritual connection and our essence and our flow is where we're secure. If we're secure in that flow, and that surrender, that release, and that inner knowing, and then we can attract things on the physical plane. But there's a sense of security and control versus flow and trust. So vital lessons here that we're learning in a very gentle way on this quiet week will actually be fundamentally important to changing the way that we live from now on. And one more aspect that I'm finding interesting at the moment, Jupiter's turned direct in Scorpio, and Jupiter will be moving into Sagittarius early November. And there's many events that I see lining up for the 11th of November. It seems to be a real crucial point. So we're on the home straight now, with Jupiter having gone in and dug up everything in the dark waters of Scorpio and brought them like a depth charge up to the surface. Then we're attending to that business now, but the end date for that, or the change date for that, would very much be that first 2 weeks of November, where we shift into Sagittarius, and that feels like a release. That feels like an end of quite a big cycle, even though it's only been a year. It feels like the end of a 3-year cycle of real introspection, self-knowing, soul sovereignty, and being responsible for clearing any low frequencies, any fears and repressions in ourselves and collectively, so that we can all shine more brightly as we walk with Jupiter in Sagittarius. So to recap, not a lot of external activity, not a lot of climatic changes going on with these different planets, but coming out of the eclipse, lots of filtering of the detail, appreciation, studying presence, spiritual security rather than financial security, and the real power of manifestation, getting out of the control brain and linear time and back to our true essence, which we're clearing daily, with the timescale that continue to do this all the way through to November, and we'll be living from a very different place at that point, but that our plans and our projects and our clarity will start to come back by September, October. So the timeline for watching that control brain, getting back to our true selves, we've still got a couple of weeks to really get to the depths of that. So as usual, I do encourage you to have a look at where this is happening for you. Where's Virgo in your chart? What are you filtering? What needs attention there? Where's Scorpio in your chart? And how can you dig deeper? How can you really alchemize with that energy of Jupiter? And where was the Aquarius eclipse for you? And what was the meaning behind that to help you raise your consciousness and raise your vibration? So to do this, I'm very happy to meet you one-to-one or over Skype, to have a look at where this is happening for you, to really harness these energies and to do the deeper work. So please do have a look at my website, www.astrozo.com, or come and connect with me on Facebook at Astrozo and Instagram ZoeHines7, or email me directly zoehines7@gmail.com.